She can't get a job due to her criminal record, so she scams people. The movie opens with Emily going to a job interview, but unfortunately, the questions her interviewer asks her about her past are very upsetting. On a question about her criminal record, she informs him that she has a permanent record of driving under the influence. Surprisingly, he inquires about her assault charges from 2016, which makes her uncomfortable. She wonders why he asked her these questions if he already has all her information. So, she curses him and leaves the office after telling him that she badly needs this job as she has a lot of student loans to pay. Later that day, Emily goes to her food delivery job at a local restaurant, and she is depressed because her criminal record makes it difficult for her to find a decent job. As a result, she works odd jobs. At the end of the day, she runs into a co-worker, Javier, who asks her to work his shifts so he can take his son to his baseball game. As a token of gratitude, he sends her a number to help her earn $200 in an hour. Emily considers his offer as she enters her apartment, which she shares with a friend. Following that, she receives a call from the bank informing her that all of her balance has been transferred to pay her student debt, which frustrates her more. She sits in her car the next day after completing her food delivery order and makes some sketches. Then she gets the bright idea to text Javier's phone number, and to her surprise, she gets an instant reply with the offer to earn $200 an hour. She inquires about the assignment, and they text her to meet the next day for more information. Afterward, she meets a friend at the bar, and her friend asks about Emily's artwork. Emily sadly informs her about financial difficulties, so her friend offers her a job as a graphic designer at her company. The next morning, Emily arrives at the designated meeting location, where several people are waiting for the same opportunity. After obtaining her driver's license, they ask Javier to confirm her identity. She meets a man named Youssef, who asks her to use a fake credit card to purchase a flat-screen television. Emily anxiously enters the store and puts a cap on her head to hide her face from the camera. And when she reaches the cashier, she gets scared of getting caught. However, her card works, and she buys the expensive TV. Youssef and his accomplices await her arrival before taking the TV and giving her the cash. The following day, he offers her a new job worth $2,000. He gives her a phone and promises to text her the following day by 1 o'clock. She takes the phone from him and goes back to her usual job at the restaurant. She becomes irritated when there is no text and throws the phone Youssef gave her into the bin when suddenly it beeps. She gets the message for the next task, to buy a car with a black credit card with no credit limit. So she meets the car dealership manager and completes all the formalities quickly, as she has only a few minutes until they call the card owner. Emily gets into the car and immediately starts the engine. Meanwhile, the security guard gets the call that she is a fraud. So, he asks her to turn off the engine and follow him inside, but she refuses to comply. She tries to run away instead of exiting the car. The guard tries to stop her, but she hits him, leaving him with a bloody nose. When she gets to the address that Youssef gave her, she throws the car keys at him and demands payment, which they give her. Then she tries to leave but gets dizzy due to the bleeding. Youssef comes and offers to drive her to her apartment. They get to spend time together as he puts ice on her wounds while discussing their future plans. Emily wants to be an artist, while Youssef plans to buy a rental property for himself. Later, Youssef brings her into their personal office and shows her how to create fake credit cards. She quickly learns and wants to make more credit cards, so he gives her a credit card cloning machine, and she starts making her own cards to use for illegal purchases. Youssef warns her never to buy from the same store twice a week, but she forgets his warning. When Youssef's cousin Khalil sees Emily in his office one evening, he is clearly unhappy that Youssef is sharing their secrets with an unidentified girl, but Youssef lies to him and says that Emily is not his friend. Emily continues her fraud business, and on one occasion, she comes across a customer who refuses to pay her full money, but she cleverly tries to leave, convincing him to pay in full cash, and later he becomes her permanent customer. She keeps proceeding with her food delivery job, and has so much money earned that she buys a personal locker. Liz, a friend of hers, asks her to look after her dog while she is out of town. Everything seems to be going well until one day, a customer follows her into her apartment and takes away all her savings and dog after assaulting her. He warns her not to follow, as they know her address. When he leaves, Emily gets angry. Determined to get her money back, she takes out the teaser given to her by Youssef. She rushes to their car, attacks the robbers, and manages to get her money and dog back. She also takes their identity cards to make sure they don't come back. After a few days, Liz comes back and invites Emily to her party. She invites Youssef because she feels out of place at the party, because everyone is from Liz's office. They both have fun at the party and, later on, spend the night together. As Youssef starts to like Emily, he invites her to meet his kind mother, who serves them a home-cooked meal. Suddenly, Khalil appears and angrily plays a video of Emily making 2 purchases from the same store. He then criticizes Youssef for dating Emily, who could get them in trouble. The next day, Emily goes to a job interview with Liz, but things get heated as the boss wants her to work for free. She rejects the offer of being an unpaid intern and leaves the office. Later, she angrily goes to Youssef, and they plan to rob Khalil and take away all the money. But things take a turn, as Khalil already gets a step ahead of them. When they reach the office, all money and stolen goods are gone. Youssef gets very disappointed as he badly needs money to buy this rental property as early as possible. So he blames Emily for provoking Khalil by being careless during her task. Then he asks her to leave him alone, but she assures him that it isn't their fault. Khalil is bound to rob them, as he considers Youssef a pushover. Emily encourages him to confront Khalil and take his cash back. He cautions her about the risks of doing this because he is afraid of Khalil. Instead, she keeps her stance on getting back at Khalil. She goes to her restaurant office and gets a pair of paper ties, a blade, and food. When they get to Khalil's house, Emily pretends to be a food delivery person and asks to bring the order inside. When the door opened, she and Youssef hit and tied the man and took his phone. They question him and then ask him to tell his friends that their car has been stolen. Emily and Youssef enter the house, locking it from inside. They quickly reach Khalil's room, but he is nowhere to be found. Khalil knocks Youssef out cold with a sudden blow to the head, and he grabs Emily by her neck, trying to kill her. Fortunately, Emily grabs a blade and repeatedly stabs him until he drops. She then threatens him and demands the cash. He denies having any money, but she does not trust him. She also warns him that she will continue to stab him to death if he does not cooperate with her. Khalil gets scared for his life and tells Emily about money, and she takes all she can. Later, she carries Youssef to their car because he has lost so much blood that he is unable to move. She searches for his car keys but does not find them. She is forced to leave her friend Youssef behind when they hear the sounds of the police and ambulance. She grabs the bag containing all the cash and flees, leaving him behind. A few days pass, and Emily arrives at a new place for a fresh start. She fulfills her dream of traveling the world and painting. She even hires other people for her own credit card scam company.